Hey, what's up? So I finally got around to installing assembly for Halo Reach so I can actually mess around with like the aim assist to figure out how it's working here. So these are the base stats for the DMR. I've actually modified the DMR a little bit so it's easier to sort of like tell what's going on. But all of these aim assist stats should be stock. Like this is 1-to-1, like what you get out of the box. All right, so you'll notice under weapon aim assist, there's two subcategories. There's auto aim and there's magnetism. So I'm just going to completely disable all of the auto aim. I'm going to poke that and I'm going to see what happens. So I'm not getting red reticle, but my crosshair is sort of sticking to the target. And now let's just disable all of the magnetism. So there's no stickiness, but I am getting red reticle. So that means that the auto aim is the red reticle and the magnetism is the stickiness. So let's screw around with the auto aim and see what happens. I'm going to set the angle to 10 degrees, poke that, and back in game, we see my red reticle is really far out. And my shots are connecting. Now let's mess around with the range. So this is actually different from the way Halo 1 handles it, which was really interesting to me. So I'm going to change this to something more manageable like 5 and 2.5. Poke that, and this is the edge of my red reticle. And as I start backing off, the auto aim is tapering off. If we were to set this to the same value, which is 2.5, so as soon as I'm in red reticle, the shots are hitting. But as soon as I back out of red reticle, it's 100% off. So what this means is that the fall off range is actually your red reticule, whereas the range is the red reticule plus the fall off. This here is where it starts falling off. It's the fall off range. So anything in here is going to be magnetized 100%, whereas anything over here is going to start gradually falling off. Let's say I take a shot here. The further you get away from the fall off start to the edge, it's just going to demagnetize 100%. So I'm just going to set these back to default and let's mess with the magnetism a little bit. Angle of 5, range of 5, fall off range of 2.5. So 2.5 is going to be where it's 100% active. And this only affects controller players. So you can see that as I back up, it starts magnetizing less until I get to about 5 world units, and then it gradually tapers into a full magnetism. Now, if I set this to the same value, 2.5, so that the actual range matches where it starts falling off, it's a 100% transition from magnetized to not, which makes perfect sense. So let's set these back to default. This deviation angle right here, I swear to you, does not do anything at all. The tooltip says the maximum angle that a projectile will be allowed to deviate from the gun barrel due to auto aim or network lead vector reconstruction, which I assume is just some weird network interpolation bullshit that I don't know how to explain. But if I were to set this to like 1 degree where the auto aim is 2.25, as soon as I'm within that red reticle, it still hits 100%. So I'm not entirely certain what this value does. It doesn't seem to do anything at all. I could be wrong. Somebody may be more knowledgeable than I am, but as far as I know, this value does nothing. There's also a flag up here. Weapon can headshot. So by default, the auto aim will actually allow headshots from angles like this. Whereas if I untick this flag and poke, it behaves more along the lines of Halo 1, which had no headshot prioritization. And the beauty of being able to poke like this means I can actually modify the globals without getting screwed over. So there's two values here that are really important. Friction and adhesion for magnetism. If I were to set this to 1 and poke, I'm completely locked on. No look stick input. But if I move my crosshair over him, it behaves pretty much as normal. So adhesion is strafe magnetism, whereas friction, if I set that to 1 and poke, completely gets stuck on the guy. So friction is look magnetism. I'm going to reset it all back to default. Magnetism near fall off range. I'm not entirely certain what this does either. Oh, interesting. So basically what this is doing, and I'm assuming the auto aim works the same way. Oh, it's giving me the minimum distance I can be where the cones start getting chopped off. So basically what that value is doing is it's just straight up doing that. Beautiful. So I'm just gonna use auto aim in this example because it's more tangible. Your near fall off range pushes this back and forth. Your fall off range pushes this back and forth. And your range pushes this back and forth. And your angle widens the entire cone. I actually learned something. I had no idea what that did. All right, that's all I got for you. This game is just... It's reach, dude!
Gold. This game sucks!